Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. 6 reasons why people fall in love. And really what brought about these 6 reasons, and I'll get to them super quickly, but it's the premise of it, and it's kind of what got me interested in this topic. The headline on the article, if you will, was image versus reality. Image versus reality. And it was talking about how you may not necessarily know the person. I'm just throwing this out as a hypothetical. Maybe I don't actually know who this person is that I actually like a lot, right? Maybe I love them. Maybe I've got it in my mind that this person for sure is the end-all be-all. They are the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I may not even know them. Or maybe it's someone that's a coworker, right? And I talk to them a little bit during the day. Maybe we talk, 20 minutes a day. Maybe we talk at lunch every day, got to know him better, got an idea what he's going through at home, right? The whole 9 yards. But again, I talk to him, 20, 30 minutes, an hour a day. Or is it even someone that I live with, someone that I'm constantly around, constantly spending time with? I obviously sleep. They work, I work, right? So there's times where maybe we're not together, but maybe we work together, all right? So maybe most of the day we're together. How well do you really, truly know somebody? We understand them as well as we understand them, as well as we think we understand them. But so many confusions show up around the fact that we think we know exactly what they're thinking or why they're thinking, or we think we understand their motives. We think we understand why they do and choose to say the things they do, right? And really, people are like icebergs for the most part, right? You got a little bitty part that's showing, but then underneath, it's really the substance of who they are. Like, people have secrets they don't like you to know. They don't want you to know that when they take their socks off, their feet smell, or they don't want you to know that, whatever, they're allergic to certain things, or certain things make them gassy, right? Like, we don't like to tell people the parts of ourselves that we're a little embarrassed by. We don't like to tell people the skeletons in our closet. We always are trying to show our best foot forward, if you will. We're trying to present our best smiling face. And sometimes we fail, but for the most part, most of us, especially in the social media world, we're always giving our best foot. Are you kidding me? I'm not grabbing the worst photo that I'm posting. I pick the best, unless for some reason the worst one's really funny and it's going to get me 1,000 likes or whatever, right? Because that's how that works. And then a lot of times, and this is the last little caveat before that, or I think thing that kind of helps, a lot of times we project things onto people. And this will kind of make sense, I think, in a couple of these examples coming up. But this is that us pushed out thing. But on top of that, it's also I believe they are a certain thing. I believe they're fulfilling a role. Maybe they act a certain way. They say a certain thing. Maybe I've always been attracted to a certain kind of man, and they happen to be that. Or I've always been attracted to this very petite, dainty kind of girl, or whatever the thing is, right? And so that's what I always see. That's what I'm always attracted to. That's what I always have relationships with. And it just seems to work, even though I've never tried anything different. Again, image versus reality. This is why so frequently we talk about when you're trying to get a specific person. Sometimes it's good to back away for a second. Just back up for a second. Throw that little deet, right? Go a little backwards. And give yourself a chance to define, what is it that you really want? What is the reality that you're truly searching for? Not trying to get your reality or them to mold to your reality, but what is the reality that you would like to experience? That's why we oftentimes go back to that rather than so being fixated on the specific person that we're after. Instead, what is the concept that I want? A loving relationship, right? And be with someone, spend time with someone, have a family with someone, grow old with someone, laugh with someone, eat with someone, sleep with someone, shower with someone. Just some of my favorite things. I'm just saying. So it's a good idea to understand that there's a little more complexity to the way our psychologies work, the way we attract people, the reasons we seem to fall in love with people. Here's the top 6 main reasons. Top 6, kind of generalized 6 ways or reasons that we tend to fall in love with people. One thing, people with similar values, right? People that value the same kinds of things. Same things are important to them. Same kinds of things like family, for example. It's really important to me to have a family and be spiritual maybe, and maybe we go to church once a week, and we have the house and we play catch in the front yard and have the little neighborhood where we do block parties and people set off their fireworks or whatever your thing is, right? Fireworks are like so super illegal in California. Like the entire state is flammable everywhere. So yeah, fireworks not a real good thing for the old California people. But there's many parts of the world that, like Washington State, it rains all the time. I don't think you could catch that state on fire with a blowtorch. Don't think. A solar flare from the sun could strike Washington State, and the state would not catch fire because it is so super saturated with water. Just saying. So, people with similar values. Obviously, if you like rain, you'd probably live up there with your similar value other person. Another reason that we tend to fall in love, their smell, believe it or not. Yeah, their pheromones. A lot of people, like, right, you'll take that article of clothing, you're like, I can smell them. Or they'll give you a stuffed animal that they put their perfume on or something, right? And you just get that fragrance and you can curl up with it when you get at home at night, right? That smell has an amazingly powerful ability on people. And it's been, a lot of studies have been done on pheromones and all those kinds of things. Certainly works in the animal community, so probably the more animalistic aspects of ourself seem to like that. There's a lot of really bad jokes that I just didn't say right now. I just want you all to know. Every once in a while, my filter works. So also, number 3, desirable characteristics. These can be anything. By the way, anything. For some reason, you think people that wear glasses are smarter. That's a desirable characteristic in your mind. That absolutely means nothing. I know plenty of mass murdering people that wear glasses. It's not really true. I don't really know any mass murdering people that wear glasses, but there have been some that are mass murderers that wore glasses. So there you go. Can't necessarily trust people with glasses, can you? No. In fact, Hitler was a vegetarian. He was a painter. He was a vegetarian painter. And yet still managed to make time to kill a lot of people or be responsible for. Some would say that's, I don't know, a busy day, right? I'm just saying. So desirable characteristics, those maybe not, but to some people, Eva Braun, I think, found it quite enlightening that this man was so powerful and so capable of arousing all sorts of feelings in a lot of people, but in a bad way, right? Like, I don't know, some people are for everybody. So again, characteristics matter to us, and those are two kind of odd extremes, right? You got people that want to go to church and people that want to kill everybody. Who do I want to be today? Probably not. Probably going to slant more on the spiritual side. But what kind of characteristics matter to you? What would you like to have in your relationship? And maybe in some cases, maybe this is why there's just like, I've always had an attraction for people with brown hair. Or I've always liked Asian people, or I've always liked whatever your thing is, right? Like sometimes these things play out in our lives, and maybe some of us are stuck in some sort of pattern. Well, here's other areas where we keep falling in love with someone. We don't even know them, right? We keep falling in love anyways. This can come into play as well. So there's something desirable about them. What is that? What is that thing that maybe your dad always, it was like that, trying to get his approval, or maybe your mom never paid attention to you, so you're always goofing off trying to be funny, whatever. A thing that happens frequently, this is very common, people fall in love with some because they look at them and they realize, hey, this person's going to fulfill my need, maybe my financial need, maybe they help me get out of the house, maybe they're going to help me get a job, maybe they're going to help me get into a car, help pay my bills, I don't know. They're going to fulfill some sort of need, any number of other things. They can help do my laundry. Those guys, I'm just trying to go, I was realizing how horrible I was being there. So we just cover the other side of stereotypes. Someone to help me cook, someone to help me clean, someone to help me just be in love and have fun time together, and someone fun to look at in the shower. Yeah, whatever. I'm just throwing things out there. And I don't need help cleaning or any of that. I do very well on my own, just saying. I was trying to cover and offend just everyone equally. Also, the need thing's kind of important too, because they can fulfill that happiness factor. And there's a lot of people that fall in love with someone because they made you feel good, they made you happy, they made you experience something, even though maybe it was a fleeting, maybe it was meant to be a positive contrast, something that gives you a taste of what could be out there, yet we fixated on them because they experience, that was where my experience came from, was this individual, when that individual was just showing you something that was potential, that was that was something you could experience more of, not necessarily with them. And I'm not trying to put doubt in anyone's mind, but I'm just saying life is very interesting the way it plays out to us. Us pushed out is a super multidimensional concept that that's why I don't like it as a general, hey, it's us pushed out. It's so much more complex than that. But there's aspects of us that need contrast, that need understanding, that need development. So sometimes someone filling our needs, that happiness or whatever, can also be along those lines. So something that you want to pay attention to, something that you want to make sure, because there's healing there usually, right? If you're putting your happiness outside of yourself or your need to fulfillment outside of yourself, then again, you're placing things in other people's power. And that's usually something we frown against in the old law of attraction genre, if you will. All right, fifth, if ready might actually be someone you weren't expecting. This is actually one of the funner ones. This is one of the ones where if you've typically seen yourself in a pattern, or you've typically always liked a certain kind of person, or well, and even the adage comes to mind too. You find them when you least expect it. One of the greatest little phrases that everyone likes to throw about, but it really falls into this thing when we're finally ready, when we finally threw up our hands, or when we finally just said, I don't even care anymore. When you finally reach that place, that's when it will be, right? If you build it, they will come, for a movie that probably 12 of you have seen. It's the same concept, right? So again, if you put that out there, if you are ready for anything, if you've opened up yourself to love in general, and you've written your story, and your actors are all in there, and they're behaving the way that is ideal and that you would love in your relationship, that specific person will pop in. They'll just, whoa, oh my God, I was bumping down, and he dropped his keys, and I kicked him, and then we bumped heads, and it was so wonderful. Like, I don't know, some crazy way it happens. Yeah, I've seen the movies. It's always like that. All right, last but not least, some fall for someone like their parents. This is another way we fall in love with people. This is a good one. I mean, it's okay. It's nothing wrong with it. Like, I'm not saying you're dating your parents. What I'm saying is a lot of times we find someone that may even possibly physically resemble one of our parents, usually the opposite sex, but, whatever. Also, it may be a behavioral thing. They may act just like your parent. And for some reason, you still require that. Like maybe you never got attention from your mom, so now here you are with a woman that doesn't give you any attention, and you're like, why am I with someone that doesn't give me attention? And I try so hard to get attention from her. Well, there you go. Maybe mom is playing a little bit larger role in the woman that you've chosen than you meant to, or maybe you're always trying to get daddy's approval. So here you are with the man that's sometimes aloof, sometimes doesn't care what you're doing, doesn't really give a crud, right? You try to talk to him and he's not interested because, he's got other things on his mind, more important in his mind, right? Narcissist, maybe. Again, those kinds of things. Sometimes we attract those people because we just want desperately to have someone that won't give us approval, but we want it so badly. So we continue to manifest that same kind of relationship. So again, why is it that you're falling in love? Here's a few different reasons why many of us do. And sometimes we can figure out where we are in this, if we're happy with that. And that's really a big choice. Like, if you're fine falling in love with someone like your parents, maybe your parents were wonderful and you ended up with someone just like one of your parents and you're stoked, awesome. Nothing wrong with that. If for some reason your parent was not the coolest person, or you have some issues or in your life because of that relationship with that parent, and then now you're attracting someone like them, well, maybe that's not quite what you want long-term. Maybe it's helping you out right now. Things to keep in mind when we're navigating this, who do we love, this SP, this person I'm trying to get into my life. Why? Why do I love them? Is it legit? Is it good? Is it great? Of course it is. And then if that's the case, then fantastic. But again, knowledge is power. I think there's something to be said whenever we know these things for sure, right? It kind of helps us out. So that's where we're at with that. 6 reasons why people fall in love right here on Dan Radio Style. Thank you, guys. If you do want to help, please subscribe if you haven't already. That's fantastic. That's one of the greatest ways you can help my channel. And of course, watching the videos, very, very important. Like that one. I'm going to probably put that at the tippy top of importance. But some of the other great ways you can actually assist my channel or help my channel in any way, shape, or form: shares, likes, comments, all that kind of stuff is something that YouTube loves. Those are great metrics. So the more you can do those kinds of things, the more YouTube says, hey, this guy's not a bad guy. Let's see if other people like him. And hopefully they do. Appreciate you guys. We'll do more great shows coming your way. Thank you so much.